Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus here again with part two of God for U.S. President 2016. As I was saying in the previous presentation, evil has its path, and its path is treacherous. Every, well, let me try to put it to you a simple way that everybody can understand. This earth, right now, I want you to understand that everything is under the control of God. But it has already been designed. And in this design, this habitat is controlled by Satan. What I mean by that is that Satan has the liberty to influence through his deception. And men who are here have a choice. They choose whom they will serve this day. And so all of the things that we see, as I've mentioned, I want to reiterate. All of the lying and the benefits thereof, all of the cheating and the benefits thereof, all the stealing and the benefits thereof, all of the killing and the benefits thereof is all a result of men who are being influenced by the devil. Our society is, when I say our, I'm not just talking about America. I'm talking about people all over the world. The societies are just like they are under the control of the enemy of God. It doesn't matter what kind of systems you live under. It doesn't matter how prosperous you are, how poor you are. It does. None of that matters. The result of life on this planet is just like it is wanted to be. Right now, we're talking about a new world government. And ladies and gentlemen, when you really get down to it, I'm kind of for a one world government. But it's not the government of men who think they are God. It's government of God. And the difference between the government of men who think they're God is that they have no respect for God. They are God in their own estimation. And we are servants of God. Well, everything that they do provides exactly what they want, and it doesn't matter whether we like it or not. But the God that I suggest to you for President 2016 cares about you, and he cares about those who are rich right now and would do anything to maintain their richness, but does not care any more for them than it cares for you. And that means that all of you, you and them, can live as though you're in paradise. But this thing what they desire, power, there's no one here that has power but God and the Spirit of God living in individuals. And that power is to do good to all people and to resist all that is evil. Now listen to me, and listen to me good. The evil one of this world, and that means everybody. Some will jump out there in a minute. Some it might take the last resort. But they all will do whatever is required to maintain the system that they have, the one that they're familiar with, and to stray away from anything that's foreign. That's here in America, that's in China, that's in Russia, that's anywhere people are. They believe that their system and their government is the best on the face of the earth. And you can bet your last money their religious faith concurs with that. And that has been set up in a particular way to keep us all at odds with one another. Well, that's the way the devil is smart, but we're supposed to be smarter. The devil says to Adam, and I'm taking you back there, you will not surely die. And, well, said it to Eve. The point being, Adam ate the apple. And he died, not, I don't believe, as we think death is. Could have been, but I don't know. Anyway, he ended up here in the devil's world, where I think somewhere I heard that render to Caesar that which is Caesar, and that to God which is God. So when you obey Caesar, disobey God, and the snake represents Caesar right now, that means that this is your influence. Now, you are living in this world, and as I've indicated, the tool of this anti-God is two. For one is the dollar, the one that has in God we trust, the one that they make and put value out of thin air behind, and the gun. If you go along with what the game is, chances are you can make you a few bucks, and some of you can make a lot of bucks to acquire those things that they have determined are important for you, or resist and get the bullet, the gun. That's what they have to offer. But God has paradise for each of you. Now, in order for you to turn your back on the devil, on the world's way, and you are turning your back, you're actually turning your back on it. The system as it stands today, you see it for what it is, and you not only see it for what it is, you see what's in front of you. You see what you're about to receive. So you resist the status quo, and your resisting stands out, and somebody will be used. Some thug, as I heard somebody say, will be used by not just the government, because we'll often say the government did that or somebody else did that. But what it really is that the rich people, the richest people who run the world, those hidden hands who run the world, they're the one responsible. They're the one who's paying everybody, got everybody in position to do the things that need to be done to get that person who's trying to be goody two-shoe out of the way. Now that's what you call being born again. Because when they took Jesus and killed him like they will kill you, Jesus went down for a little while and came right back up to let you know that you do not surely die in the sense that you're thinking of. Or you might go through some changes, but you're still alive. Now you have to be a Christian to accept that. And you accept that, you stand up and represent that. Anything less than that, I won't say that you're not trying, but you ain't there yet. Now, what your reward is or your benefit for being like that is not my business. It's not my business. My business is just to tell you that the power to change this world is in your hand, or the power to get you into paradise is for you to make the choice that that's where you deserve to be. You're not going to get there if you don't deserve to be there. Well, God, look, they say that they were kicked out of heaven because they violated the rules that requires one to carry through in order to maintain themselves in heaven. They're not going to let you come back up in there rotten. No, my friends. For you to see clearly enough that you say, I will die for this. Now, you just can't die for anything. Because some people, I'm dying for my people. Well, no, that's not good enough. You're dying for what's right. That means you're dying for what God represents. And when you die for what's right, now, you got to see clearly what's going on in order to do that. But when you can do that, it's its own reward. Now, there was something else I wanted to say, but I can't think of right now. I believe it had to do with you making God the next president. You know, every Republican and every Democrat represent everything you hate. If you're a Republican and you say that these Republicans represent you, think for a minute and just assume that you hated everything they did. And why? Because you stepped in the Democrat shoes. In Democrat, you do both the same thing. And then after you've done that, I want all of you guys, middle class and the upper class, Rich, I know you're not thinking about this, so I won't even call your name. Think about how the poor must be feeling. You step in their shoes. Step in their shoes. Now get back in your own shoes. And let's change things. Let's make it like God wanted it to be. Now, for those of you who don't believe in God, what can I say to you? Well, you do believe in having your dream. So look at it like this. The rest of the human race is giving themselves in their daily activity, in exploiting their gifts for the benefit of making your dream come true. All of these billions of people dedicating their lives daily to make your dream come true. And there is one power, and that is the power of love that allows you to continue to do this, which is a representation of the God that you made president. And this is I think I started off telling you about the New World Order that I believe in. I do believe in a New World Order. And I think I explained it to you, made it clear, the kind of one that I would be for. That's the one that God is for, and not the other one. The $368 question is this. Today, having heard this message, which do you choose? Now, I know the one you were choosing a few minutes before you heard this message. I know exactly which one you were choosing. I want to know now, have you heard anything that draws you to this perspective? If you haven't, it's no big thing. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to try to say anything negative about you. But this is one thing that I want to say to all Americans, especially those of you who called yourselves children of God, whether it's under Christianity, whether it's under any of the other number of faiths that we have here in this country. As far as your representation of that faith and that God goes, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves, and every last one of you sitting down waiting for the completion of the signs of the return of some magical force, rather than getting up off your lazy butts, spiritual lazy, getting off your spiritual lazy butts and committing yourself to be an expression of love, to show people what love is. And look, let me say it to you like this. I've been saying it. I don't want to separate it. Every time I talk about love, I want you to know the kind of love I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about this selfish kind of love. I'm talking about this kind of love that is an expression of God. When I say for everybody, that doesn't mean, because some people don't even